Topic number 2. Part 2. Post-independence legal reforms in Pakistan. 3. Constitutional and legal changes under military rule, 1958 to 1971. Between 1958 and 1971, Pakistan experienced direct military rule, which led to major changes in the country's constitution and legal system. During this period, two military rulers, General Ayub Khan, 1958 to 1969, and General Yahya Khan, 1969 to 1971, made significant changes to Pakistan's governance. These changes included the introduction of a new constitution in 1962 and legal reforms that influenced the country's political structure. However, military rule also brought serious problems, such as the concentration of power in the hands of the president, suppression of democracy, and increasing political unrest. Eventually, these issues led to the separation of East Pakistan and the creation of Bangladesh in 1971. 3.1 The 1962 Constitution, a shift to presidential rule. After taking over the government in 1958, General Ayub Khan wanted to replace the parliamentary system with a system that gave more power to the president. He believed that a strong leader was necessary for the country's stability and development. In 1962, he introduced a new constitution that made major changes to the way Pakistan was governed. 3.1.1 Key features of the 1962 Constitution. 1. Presidential system introduced, the Prime Minister's position was removed, and all executive power was given to the President, who had control over both the government and administration. 2. Parliamentary democracy abolished, the role of elected representatives was significantly reduced. The President could dismiss the legislature and appoint ministers without the approval of Parliament. 3. Limited role of Islamic laws. Unlike the previous constitution, the 1962 constitution did not emphasize Islamic principles. Instead, Ayub Khan focused on modernization and economic development. 4. Basic democracies system. Ayub Khan introduced a system called basic democracies, in which only a limited number of people, local representatives, could vote for the president, instead of allowing the general public to directly elect the leader. This system was criticized because it restricted democratic participation. 5. Judiciary under executive control. The independence of courts and judges was weakened because the president had the power to remove judges. This made the judiciary less effective in checking government power. 3.1.2 Criticism and downfall of the 1962 Constitution. Even though Ayub Khan's government focused on economic growth and modernization, the 1962 Constitution was highly criticized for several reasons. It concentrated too much power in the hands of the president, making the government undemocratic. The system of basic democracies reduced the power of ordinary people to participate in elections. Political opposition, including Fatima Jinnah, sister of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, challenged Ayub Khan's rule and criticized his authoritarian style. Public protests and opposition movements grew stronger, eventually forcing Ayub Khan to resign in 1969. 3.2 Legal reforms under General Yahya Khan, 1969 to 1971. After Ayub Khan stepped down in 1969, General Yahya Khan took over as the new military ruler of Pakistan. His main goal was to restore democracy and resolve tensions between East and West Pakistan. However, his reforms could not prevent the growing conflict that eventually led to the separation of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, in 1971. 3.2.1 The Legal Framework Order, LFO, of 1970. To prepare for the first general elections in Pakistan's history, Yahya Khan introduced the Legal Framework Order, LFO, in 1970. This legal document made important changes such as 1. Abolition of the one-unit system. Before the LFO, Pakistan was divided into two main administrative units, West Pakistan and East Pakistan. The one-unit system treated all provinces of West Pakistan as one unit, which was unfair to smaller provinces. The LFO ended this system and restored provinces like Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Two first general elections in Pakistan, 1970, the LFO set the rules for Pakistan's first nationwide elections, allowing political parties to compete and people to vote for their representatives in the National Assembly. 3. Recognition of East Pakistan's rights. The LFO aimed to give East Pakistan more representation since it had a larger population than West Pakistan. This was an effort to reduce the political imbalance between the two regions. 3.2.2 The 1970 elections and political crisis. In December 1970, Pakistan held its first democratic elections under the new system. The results were surprising. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's Awami League from East Pakistan won 160 out of 300 seats, giving it a clear majority. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's Pakistan People's Party (PPP) won 81 seats, mostly from West Pakistan. Since Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's party had the most seats, he had the right to form the government. However, West Pakistan's leaders, including Bhutto and the military, refused to transfer power to him. This led to a major political crisis, with East Pakistan demanding full autonomy. 3.2.3 The separation of East Pakistan and the creation of Bangladesh, 1971. As tensions grew, people in East Pakistan began protesting against the central government. In March 1971, the Pakistani military launched Operation Searchlight, a military crackdown against political activists in East Pakistan. This led to a violent conflict, with thousands of people killed. By December 1971, the situation had worsened and a war broke out between Pakistan and India, as India supported the independence movement in East Pakistan. After a short but intense war, Pakistan's army surrendered on 16 December 1971, and East Pakistan officially became the independent country of Bangladesh. 4. The 1973 Constitution establishing a democratic legal framework. After the 1971 war and the loss of East Pakistan, Pakistan faced a major political crisis. The country needed a new constitution that could bring back stability, democracy, and a strong governance system. In 1973, under the leadership of Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, a new constitution was introduced, which remains the foundation of Pakistan's legal and political system today. The Constitution of 1973 was designed to ensure a parliamentary democracy, protection of fundamental rights, and a balance of power between the federal and provincial governments. Over the years, several amendments have been made to update the Constitution, adapting it to Pakistan's changing political landscape. 4.1 Key features of the 1973 Constitution. The 1973 Constitution introduced several important legal and governance reforms that shaped Pakistan's political system. Some of its key features include 4.1.1 Parliamentary System of Government. Unlike the 1962 Constitution, which had a strong presidential system, the 1973 Constitution established a parliamentary system where real power rested with the Prime Minister. The President became a ceremonial head of state with limited executive powers. A bicameral legislature, two houses of parliament, was introduced, consisting of National Assembly, lower house, directly elected by the people, responsible for making laws and choosing the Prime Minister. Senate, upper house, representing the provinces, ensuring equal participation from all regions of Pakistan. This system ensured that elected representatives, rather than a single ruler, had control over governance. 4.1.2 Islamic provisions. Since Pakistan was created in the name of Islam, the 1973 constitution strengthened Islamic principles in the legal system. Pakistan was officially declared an Islamic republic. The Objectives Resolution, which defined Pakistan's Islamic identity, was made a permanent part of the constitution. The Council of Islamic Ideology, CII, was created to review laws and ensure they were in line with Islamic teachings. The state was responsible for promoting Islamic values, including the enforcement of zakat, charity, and ushur, agricultural tax. These provisions reflected Pakistan's commitment to Islamic principles while maintaining a democratic system. 4.1.3 Fundamental Rights and Role of Judiciary. The 1973 Constitution guaranteed several fundamental rights to all citizens, regardless of religion, caste, or ethnicity. Some of the key rights included freedom of speech and expression. Every citizen had the right to express their views freely. Freedom of religion. People had the right to practice their religion without discrimination. Equality before the law. No person could be treated unfairly based on race, gender, or social status. Protection from unlawful detention. Citizens could not be arrested without a fair legal process. The judiciary was given a strong role in ensuring that these rights were protected. The Supreme Court of Pakistan was established as the highest legal authority with the power to interpret the constitution and strike down laws that violated fundamental rights. 4.1.4 Division of power between federal and provincial governments. To address regional concerns and avoid conflicts like the separation of East Pakistan, the 1973 Constitution clearly defined the division of power between the federal, central, government and the provinces. The federal government controlled national matters such as defense, foreign affairs, and currency. The provinces were given autonomy to manage important sectors like education, health, and local governance. This ensured a more balanced system where smaller provinces had more control over their own affairs. 4.1.5 Judicial Independence. The judiciary was given independent powers to ensure justice and fairness. Courts were given the power of judicial review, meaning they could declare any law unconstitutional if it violated the fundamental rights of citizens. Judges were given security of tenure, meaning they could not be removed unfairly by the government. The Supreme Court of Pakistan and High Courts were given authority to protect the constitution and rule of law. This was an important step in ensuring that the legal system remained independent and was not influenced by political pressure. 4.2 Amendments and later reforms. Over the years, several constitutional amendments were introduced to modify and update the legal system. Some of the most important amendments include 4.2.1 The Eighth Amendment, 1985, strengthening presidential powers. During the rule of General Ziaul Haq, the Eighth Amendment was introduced in 1985, which gave more power to the president. The president was given the power to dismiss the prime minister and dissolve the National Assembly. The role of Islamic laws was further strengthened with the introduction of Sharia-based legal reforms. Several laws, such as the Hudud ordinances, were introduced, bringing strict Islamic punishments for crimes like theft, adultery, and alcohol consumption. This amendment weakened the parliamentary system and increased the role of the military and president in politics. 4.2.2 The 18th Amendment, 2010, restoring parliamentary democracy. In 2010, under the Pakistan People's Party (PPP) government, the 18th Amendment was passed to restore democracy and reduce presidential powers. The power to dissolve the National Assembly was taken away from the president. More autonomy was given to provinces, allowing them to control important areas like health, education, and local governance. The name of Northwest Frontier Province (NWFP) was changed to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, reflecting the identity of the Pashtun majority region. This amendment strengthened democracy, giving more power to the parliament and provinces instead of concentrating authority in the hands of the president. Conclusion: Pakistan's legal system has gone through many changes since independence in 1947. While it started with British laws, the country has made efforts to develop its own legal identity by introducing new constitutions and Islamic principles. However, challenges such as political instability, military rule, and frequent legal changes have affected the growth of a stable legal system. Despite these difficulties, Pakistan continues to work towards a fair and strong legal framework that reflects its national values and serves its people effectively.